Hey everyone, James here from JVC Paints. Welcome back to the channel. Happy New Year. It's now 2025. We're a quarter of the way through the 21st century. Not a big fan, I gotta admit. But here we are. So I thought I'd introduce to you guys in this video the Chaos Warband project that myself and three of my friends are doing for this year. Yeah, I'm going to go through the figures, how I did them up, a bit of a history of the Warband, nothing too overbearing. And yeah, maybe I'll tack on a bit of a waffle at the end with some photos of these guys. So yeah, let's check out the Warband. Here's the champion of my Slaaneshi Warband. This is Finnochioles the Sodomite. The figure is a level 5 centaur hero, which is a half-breed with the mount of Slaanesh. So I did a bit of converting with this guy. The base of the figure, as you can see, the horse part of the figure here is a old imperial barded horse. I've puttied up a tail of Slaanesh and a big old dong on this guy, as well as some hefty bullets on the back there. The top part here, the human part, is from the newer Victrix Hoplite set, or Hoplite set, and the flail there is from the old Chaos Marauder I guess it is. It's like 20 years old now, and Marauder set. So a little bit about the figure itself here. Like I said, it's a level 5 centaur, but because of the cross breeding, I guess, with the amount of Slaanesh, he gets the tongue attack and his movement goes up by 2. He's got scaly skin for a plus on his armor save. He's got chaos armor, shield, hand weapon, and I give him the flail there as well. Yeah, just done him up in purple and black. Just tried to keep it simple. I think this head here, this is an old head from I don't know which chaos set it is. Looking at it now, I'm thinking I might redo the hair. I'm not a big fan of the pink, so I'm thinking I'll redo the hair and I might paint the face up so it maybe looks like Paul Stanley from Kiss, or maybe Gene Simmons. I don't know, one of the members of Kiss, anyways. So that's this guy. His retinue, I rolled 8 humans for his retinue, and the Realm of Chaos book is pretty confusing, so we had a big bicker over the rules, what I was doing, and everybody was a little bit confused about what everybody else was doing as well. So let's introduce the retinue. Some of them are cool and individual uniques, and the rest of them are just some regular pukey Slaaneshi guys. Here are the 4 regular humans, human cultists in the Warband. Again, I've used the Victrix Hoplites as a base. I've done them up in black and purple, keep that Slaanesh feel. A few extra here and there parts. For example, this guy here, he's got the Roman head and the gladius there, but I swapped out his shield. And he's also got the standard from Roman cavalry. The other guys, the 2 guys, actually all 3 guys, the rest of those guys, they've got heads from the old Chaos Marauder set, and 2 of them have Chaos Warrior shields, which, I don't know, I've painted them up now. I'm looking at it, the one guy looks like he's got Hulk arms. But, yeah, just a few little bits and pieces I did to sort of, mess them around, make them look a little bit more interesting. So, like, this guy put one of the horsehair plumes from the hoplites and made it into, like, a sort of a mohawk thing. And I painted a tattoo on his head. So, yeah, black and purple. These guys are just regular guys. So, and they're using the profiles from, 1988. So, movement 4, I think both weapon skill and ballistic skill are 3. Weapon skill might be 4, but I think it's 3. Strength and toughness are both 3. Initiative is 3. Attack is 1. And all the leadership, cool, willpower, and all that other stuff is all at about 7. So that's these guys here. I've got 4 more guys, and I rolled some pretty interesting mutations, I guess you could say. Chaos gifts, I guess you could say, for these guys. So let's check them out. I can't remember if I mentioned before the theme that these guys come from the Blacklands, which is the narrow strip of isthmus that is behind Telia on the old world map, on the old world map. I've taken like 6 or 7 takes of different things here, so I can't remember what I said exactly, but I'll reiterate it or I'm introducing it, one of the two. But yeah, so I've kept that theme up, that they come from that part of the world. And this guy here, I rolled for him and he got cowardice. So all his cool, all his sort of willpower, anything that's psychological stuff goes down by half. He needs to take tests before doing pretty much everything. And he has fear if attackers outnumber him or his side. So as a bit of a joke, his name is going to be Corrado de Torrentino. I've made names up for these guys. So he used to be a jester, and he was picked up by Finnochioles, the warband leader, on his travels throughout the old world. And the joke is, because he's a coward, what they've done is they've done him up like he's a clown, as you can see, but they've made him into sort of like a coronate clown. So again, sticking with the horse dong, I decided to put a mark of corn on this back banner here, make it look like a big old pair of balls and a dong. The head is from, and the shield and the spear are from the Victrix Persian light infantry, unarmored infantry guys, and the body is part of a halfling from War Games Atlantic and one of the hoplites. So I'll just show you the shield here real quick. So and I think the little head on top of there is one of the old Noblar heads, but I can't be certain. So let's take a look at another guy here. Don't worry, there's gonna be photos of these guys up later when I'm waffling away into the sunrise, sunset, whatever, when I'm waffling. This is Nicola Patrocles. He fell in with Finnochioles during his travels on the embassies and things like that Patrocles was attached to for Finnochioles' home city state. So with this guy, he's a mechanoid, so all of his stats go up by 100%, which is uber cheesy. He's got powerful legs, which is super uber cheesy. I remember that from the 80s being super cheesy. Weapon skill is up, his strength is +4, his toughness is +2, and he's got like 3 attacks. So the mechanoid legs, actually those legs are from an ancient orc body from, like, I would say the 80s. And the arms I did, they're also orky arms. And then what I did is with the shoulder pads are just some shields. Took a helmet and one of the linen cuirasses from the Victrix sets, and then I'll just turn them around here. I've given him some javelins in case I pick up some javelins along the way. I think it'd be great. He could just be whipping spears at people with that increased ballistic skill and strength and all that stuff. So almost like a bolt thrower. Yeah, and the idea was the name too. He's a sort of a bit of an homage to the X-Men Colossus from the 80s and 90s that I remember reading before the X-Men went and became, I don't know, whatever they are now. So this is the second guy. I've got 2 more guys I want to show you. I'm going to throw some photos up, and yeah, let's check them out. This is Colofotia. He was once a high-level entertainer in Achaen, which was Finnochioles' home city-state. And he was also traveling along the mission, the diplomatic mission that gets lost way up north. And he used to be an entertainer. He was there to entertain, but he ate some bad food in Marienburg and became ill eating that exotic food. And now his once fragrant and melodic flatulence has become rancid and violent. So he's got some pretty interesting stuff. If you've ever played Realms of Chaos, you'll know that they've got some pretty crazy shit in there. So he breathes fire. So he's got a little bit of one of the old flamer templates. So that's kind of cool. It's cone shaped. It's 12 inches in length, 4 inches wide, 2 hits at strength 3, and it has a +1 fear point. So he's a fire breather. He also has uncontrollable flatulence. We roll. He farts all the time. On 5 or 6, the gas cloud just sort of goes away. Or pardon me, he farts, and then it has a D4 diameter, and then it lasts for 1d3 turns. So and it all has different kinds of flatulence as well. So nerve toxin and just bad smells and all that kind of stuff. So I'm wondering, we were debating in our little chat group on Facebook. It's like, okay, well, if he breathes fire and he farts, will he explode? So we aren't sure. But anyway. The figure itself is from Victrix and is just all done up. Bit of a kit bash, except for the shield, which is an old Dark Elf shield. The cape, the hand holding the head, and the helmet and all that stuff. Yeah, they're all Victrix bits and pieces. So somebody wants to talk to me, so we'll get to the last guy here in this GIF. The last special member of the Warband. This is Phobias the Lame. Basically, I rolled 2 attributes for this guy, and the first one was irrational fear. So he is subject to irrational fear of reptiles, humans, and insects. So luckily, I don't think anyone that I'm playing against had rolled human followers. Yeah, I was like, okay. And he also rolled Warp Frenzy, and this is where it gets really bananas. And this is the guy on the left for you guys. So he adds fear points when this happens. So, but when he goes into Warp Frenzy, he gets an additional eye. He has a crest on his head, as you can see there, with no effect on that. He has elastic limbs. He can stretch his arms for distances, attacks of 1 plus d6 or 2 by 2d6, and the opponents can only strike back after they take an initiative test. So he's kind of like, Elastaman or whatever, Plastic Man. He's got fangs, an additional bite attack of attack +1 and a fear point of +1. He has horrible stench, so the area d6 inches around him causes opponents a -1 or +1 penalty on their dice rolls, depending on what. It's not effect to route tests at +2. He's a mer creature, which means his movement is reduced to 1, but he can cross water with no penalty. But he's puny, so all of his toughness and strength and everything is divided by 4 and then rounded down. So basically, he's a stinky piranha that's flopping around with stretchy arms on the ground. So he's basically useless. Anyways, I'm going to take some photos of these guys. The figures. Sorry, the figures. The guy on the actual Fabius figure is one of the newer hoplites with an old Chaos Warrior head. And the little creature here, I'll just turn him around so you can see him a little bit better. Yeah, it's an old orc head. I shaved it down, a 15 millimeter body, and then I puttied up some, like, the mer creature sort of lower half. The crest is just a piece of paper, and using paper clips and some putty, I just sort of elasted out his arms, and then I just used one of the older shields that I had laying around from one of the Victrix models. So, yeah, that's these guys. I'm going to take some photos, go on a bit of a waffle. Warhammer related stuff on my channel gets completely obliterated. So if you're here at this point in the video and you're actually listening to me, thank you very, very much. You're a dyed-in-the-wool fan, and I appreciate you very, very, very much. But that leads me into sort of my waffles about. I was talking to friends of mine who work in Tokyo, one IT and another guy in finance, about how the internet is mostly bots, like 70% bots. And then this whole news came out recently that Instagram, Zuckerberg, that guy, they're going to release more bots and stuff to, drive up traffic and all this other malarkey. And even my own Facebook, I spend most of my time just Xing out crap, or looking at flame wars between bots, Like, why am I wasting my time with it, is the question I keep asking myself. And so sometimes I'll put a video up where I'll get like 1,000 views, and I'll be like over the moon, like, oh my god, 1,400 views, and whatever, 170 likes. This is great. And then like I'll put out another video, which is better. It has more stuff in it, and it gets like an eighth, not even a 12th of the traffic. And it's like, okay, if none of this is real, and so I have like a low level YouTuber here. How many am I? And obviously, if you're listening to this, you're real, so that's great, and thanks for checking me out. But this is like the world's worst cable 10 show. It's a niche of a niche to the nth level, But yeah, just the whole idea of putting pressure on myself so I can get a gold internet stars. Like if I was able to spell surprise or purple or something when I was 4. It just doesn't seem worth it. And I know the mojo thing, putting pressure on yourself to put a video out, to get something out there. I think it's all imaginary. So I'm going to continue on doing what I'm doing, okay? And I'm sliding into more and more into Ancients. This project, it's going to be fun with my friends. So, and I still have some World War II stuff. So, but yeah, I'm just wondering, you see these channels with like 35, 50,000 subs, and they've got, they're flying to Spain, or they're entering this contest, or they're got their own line of brushes or whatever, and it's just like, wow, okay, they're really invested in this. And somebody's giving them some money, or the bots are giving them this prestige up there. And some of those guys are really talented. Others are just lucky, I reckon. But yeah, I just wondering. I like I said earlier, the 21st century, not a fan. Yeah, I'm firmly in the 20th century, and I'm starting to think that. If you remember playing, if you're at the age or older that you remember playing N64 GoldenEye on a split 4 screen, you're probably like the last generation of actual human beings, because this is getting to be like a really weird, bad science fiction novel. So anyways, guys, that is it for me. I just wanted to get that off my chest. All of you guys, Happy New Year. Who knows what F is going to happen coming up here. We're on day 2, I think, over here. So, yeah, all the best. We'll catch you in the next one. Don't know what it'll be. It'll probably be Ancients. Like I said, I still got some World War II crap that's going to be out there too. So, you guys take it easy. Keep those brushes moving. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.